We are ready to go for the Sunday morning matchup between the Lincoln Junior Stars and Mason City Mohawks. The Junior Stars won yesterday's game 4-2, bumping them up to a tie for 6th place in the varsity standings in the Midwest High School Hockey League. Junior Stars hope to continue their success with Matthew Travis in net tonight. Across from him will be the same starter as last night, Jacob Barr. Junior Stars will have Riker Noden, Ben Insko, Ethan Nickel up front with Henry Lancaster and Cooper Mohat defending the blue line tonight. Junior Stars are currently averaging just over 3 goals a game, letting up on average 2.4 against. Yesterday was a good game, and we hope this one is too. Opening puck drop coming up. Mason City will win that one back to their defense as they'll chase for it behind their goal line. They'll rim it up the boards. Tempted to chip into the middle of the ice, but Henry Lancaster will send that back down low. D Mason City goes as they'll chip it up the wall with time. They'll chip it and bring it into the neutral zone. Possible 2-on-1 forming. Couldn't hold the puck, and Henry Lancaster will chip that off the boards over for Noden. Noden couldn't hold on, so Mason City will gain the red and dump it in. Mohat chips that up the boards, couldn't quite get all the way there. Puck now found down below the net. Attempts to reverse twice, finally gets it on the third time. He'll wheel around the net, find Nickel. Nickel tried to find Insko middle of the ice, couldn't connect. Mohat now chips it off the boards for Noden. Noden fights for it as Mason City will regain control in their own zone. Chips it over for Medlin. Medlin will chip it up into the middle of the ice over for Bieber. Bieber, shot denied by Henry Lancaster. That'll go behind and hit off the backside of the net before Cooper Mohat runs it around up to Mason City defense. Shot comes short side and bounces to the far side of the ice. Sent back low by Mason City. Mason City working the Junior Stars right now. Shot comes back up to the point. That's blocked halfway through by Cooper Mohat and found in his gear. Before he takes it and throws it down the ice for an icing. Puck stuck in Mohat's gear, so he decides just to take it and throw it down the ice. Nothing wrong with that. He's in his own D zone. Junior Stars' current record is a 9-5-1. That one coming in an overtime loss to the Omaha Junior Lancers. Simpsons Road's line is now out there with Paul King and Cash Shortman on the wing. Gross Road and Broadfoot on defense. Paul King will pick that puck up on the half wall and send it back down low for Gross Road. Gross Road will backhand it over to Schwartman on the other half wall. Still battling for it in the corner. Schwartman will come away with it, sends it over to Broadfoot, couldn't corral, and sent into the middle of the ice and picked up by Schwartman. Schwartman tries to find Sam Rose in the middle, couldn't quite do it. Now battled on the wall by King. King still goes for it. No high sticking call there. And he will send that to cross corner for Cash Schwartman to go retrieve. Sent up to the half wall by Mason City and into neutral ice. Gross Road will go D to his partner Broadfoot. Broadfoot will find Sam Rose in the middle ice. He goes streaking. Shot. And eaten up by Jacob Barr, making the save at the top of his crease. So just over 2 minutes into this game, we've seen action on both sides of the ice. Taylor Dahlberg's line will now be called upon. Trenton Bauman taking the draw with Cade Carlson on the other wing. Mohat and Lancaster back out there for defense. Face-off one into the blocker side corner of Barr and move to the other side where they'll go off the grass and into the neutral zone. Taylor Dahlberg will pick it up there before chipping it and sent back out of the zone by the Mason City defense before Cade Carlson sends it deep. Mason City now. It's a player in the middle of the ice before crossing the red. 2-on-2 ensuing. Cuts towards the middle of the ice. Shots and sticked into the corner by Matthew Travis. That puck squirts out into the middle of the ice. Possible room. He'll move it up to the top of the D. Shot. That's blocked halfway through. glove. Couldn't quite get gloved down by Matthew Travis, but shot into his chest and covered. Shot came from the blue line, met a player halfway there before sending into the corner and right to the player of a Mason City stick. Couldn't get gloved down by Travis there, but the rebound popped right out in front and smothered from there, and we will have a face-off to the blocker side of Travis. Peary out there to take the draw now, wearing the jersey of Hoyle. That puck goes to the wall. Small opportunity there for the Mohawks, but Henry Lancaster lifts the stick. Brown tried to find Miller in the middle of the ice, but instead finds the stick at Peary. Peary will go wide. Tried to throw it on net, and he's hit into the boards hard. Peary will rekindle the puck back in the corner. Tries to throw in the front for Miller. Shot just wide of the net. Miller now fights for it on the half wall with help from Brown. Puck squirts loose, and Peary will try to angle him while Lancaster takes a step up. Man all alone in the zone, top of the circle shot. That's high of the net. Brown now try to chip it out. That hits the skates of Bieber. Mohat hits a skater move in the corner while trying to chip it up the boards to Brown. That shot sails whale wide. Leo chips it up. Might have a possible 2-on-1. Brown giving chase with Leo Hope. That shot's going to go and stick to Medlin. Medlin now. He's going to go wide. He's going to send it wide and continue to give chase. Puck gets behind the net. Tries to get thrown in front, but Evan Clausen is there. Going up to the top of the defense. Shot. That's eaten up by Ben Insko. That puck goes to neutral zone, and Mason City will send it back in. Insko goes for a change. And on comes Sam Rose. Lancaster. Puck eventually squirts over to Brown. He'll send it low for Ethan Nickel. Nickel from behind the net tries to throw it in front on those pads of Barr, and he'll cover. Good scoring chances for both teams early in this game. Lincoln leads the shots 4-3. Rose out there to take the draw with Noden and Ethan Nickel at his wing. Puck wins up to Donner. Donner falls down. Evan Clausen's able to get it deep. Negate any rush coming back. Funny hop off the boards, and Clausen will grab that puck in the middle. Pass just missed off right for Noden's stick. Noden will now find the puck low. Evan, little pass to his D partner. That shot gets through. Possible rebound. And Ethan Nickel will send that wobbling puck high. Mason City, while trying to send that puck in, will instead put it into the stands, and we will have a face-off at center ice. Jacob Barr coming into this game as a 7-4 record, .918 save percentage, and .244 goals against average. He'll look to increase that today. Cash Schwartman chipping it off the boards with help from his teammates Paul King and Cooper Peary. Lancaster's able to keep it in, but easily picked up, and an easy breakout from the Mohawks. They'll chip it into center ice, not able to connect there, so Mohat will pass it over to King. King sends it over to Schwartman. Schwartman goes wide with Peary driving, although taken away by the Mason City player. King now trying to surf him. That puck's moved wide and cut into the center. Not able to get a shot off as the Mason City player. Peary will kick it out wide for Schwartman. Schwartman tries to give it over to Paul, not quite there. Now a 2-on-2 coming back. Shot, that's sticked into the corner by Lancaster. That puck pops out into the front, but sent back into the corner by the defensive pair of Lincoln. Puck moved into the corner again. Mohat's just there. Mason City player alone though, with now help coming. Schwartman now from behind the net is going to give it over to Paul. Paul is going to flick it into the neutral zone. Peary on the rush. Couldn't get past the defense of Medlin. Mason City now with a good regroup, breakout. Puck is going to come, and Travis is just going to cover up and mitigate risk. Matthew Travis comes into this game with a 9-4 record, a .917 save percentage, and a 2.3 goals against average. So both pretty similar for both goaltenders today. Faceoff will come to the blocker side of Travis as Trenton Bauman takes the draw. That puck will squirt into the middle and easily picked up by Dahlberg. He'll move the puck over to Bauman. Bauman's going to gain the red before sending it 200. Chase is given by Cade Carlson. Mason City will go high off the glass. Broadfoot will send it off the wall. Taylor Dahlberg not able to give it wide, so Mason City will go the other way. They'll dump it in on Travis. Travis will glove that down and take the face-off to his glove side. So Bauman to take the face-off draw once again. Wins it over to the wall, but Mason City will have it below the goal line and ring it off the post. Broadfoot now trying to get it out of the zone. He does so by passing to Bauman. Bauman now chips and chisels down into the offensive zone. He'll follow his own chip with help from Cade Carlson. Medlin now easily enters the zone, crossing the red line and into the offensive zone. Shot off the pad of Travis, pops right out into the middle, and Broadfoot will now take the rush the other way. He'll gain the red and dump it deep. Bauman and Cade will go off for a change. In comes Peary and Miller. Miller not able to hold the line, so Broadfoot will hold while Dahlberg goes for a change for Brown. Brown immediately coming off the bench, gets a pass from the defense, isn't able to bury. Wheels around the net, looking for options, passes up to the defense. Shot does not get through, stick down by the Mason City player. Grossroad falls down while trying to make the angle, and shot goes wide and out of the zone. Miller not able to glove that one down. Puck stuck at the feet of the players. Mohawks now making a good step up, moves the puck up into the neutral zone. The puck squirts out. Shot, good stick away by Grossroad. Throws into the middle. Peary will bring that behind the net and look over his options. He'll move it to the weak side for Mohat while he moves up into the neutral zone. Mohat might decide just to skate this, moves it over to Peary, who will tip it in while going for a change. He goes off while Ethan Nickel goes on, as well as Ben Insko. Mason City will send that to the far side of the ice. They'll hit the brakes, being at the top of the blue line, and send it back low into the zone. Mohat's there. He's got one coming on him. Puck is battled for at the fraud. That's put out right into the shot. Possible scoring opportunity. Sails it just high of the net. Mason City tried to throw it into the front. Said hits the backside of the cage. Mason City will go player to player from behind their goal line. Just before Cole Brown sends it into the neutral zone and down into the Stars' offensive zone. That takes a bounce off the boards and covered by Barr. So we were just over halfway through the first period here in this Sunday contest. Mason City leads the Stars in shots 6-5. Nickel, Noden, and Insko out there, as well as Clausen and Donner. Good stick by Clausen to negate any rush back. Mason City will throw it into Clausen's stick. Clausen will go wide over for Noden. Noden will drive wide with Nickel and Insko going for the center. Good shot on goal by Nickel. Insko on his backhand, couldn't quite get it. Puck up to Donner now. He'll go over to Noden, sticked away by, and a stretch pass over from Mason City. Throw Travis top of his crease. Not able to get a shot off. Thrown into the middle again. Mason City not able to corral. Evan Clausen driving wide with Riker Noden on the opposite side. Clausen will try to chip it deep and ringed around by Mason City. Kept in and sent to the mid-wall by Donner. And another breakaway again. Travis out to the top of his crease. Giving chase is Ethan Nickel. He'll shoot it from the hash marks. Pad save by Travis and another one. Good save there, and negating the second chances. Travis starts off strong to start this game as we just crossed the 7-minute mark. Now coming on the rush back is Schwartman. He'll send it in deep and chase his own rebound as his line mates Rose and King coming off from a change. Shortman continues to harass the Mason City players. He'll chip it up ahead to the red line. Try to find streaking, but that'll come out of the zone and dumped in, so they'll have to tag up. Travis elects to play the puck, and Mohat will go behind his net looking for options. He'll go a stretch pass up to Schwartman, not able to tip that in the zone, so it'll stay in neutral. Rose, though, steals the puck away. He goes wide, cuts towards the middle, looking for options, but loses it towards the wall. Schwartman moves that puck up and is sent into the middle once again. Mason City regroups, throws it into the middle, and Rose will send that down. Medlin looking over his options. Gets pinned against the wall. Paul King now takes that off the wall. Tries to drive him to the front, but it's taken away and regrouped by Mason City. They'll send it up, and stolen away is Henry Lancaster. He'll go D-to-D to his partner Mohat. Mohat will go weak side to Schwartman. Schwartman will bump it back to Lancaster. Lancaster over to his partner. Mohat decides to go weak side back to Schwartman. Schwartman battling for it over on the boards along with Lancaster. Lancaster bumps it up over to Rose. Rose tries to backhand over to Paul, does so successfully. Now streaking Lancaster, shot by Paul King, goes into the shin pads of the Mason City. Now sent over to the weak side. Schwartman cuts towards the middle. Gives a backhanded pass over to Lancaster. Lancaster's going to try and find in the middle. Is Cade Carlson. Shot does not hit the net. And called off is the icing. It didn't look like it touched anyone. Maybe he called it for a lack of effort towards the icing. Either way, we play on. Tries to find Taylor Dahlberg on the wall. Dahlberg only gets a piece of it and can't get it all the way into the Mason City zone. Dahlberg trying to move the puck, draws a penalty. So for the first time this game, Lincoln will go on the power play. First penalty of this game is awarded to number 12, Rulo, for tripping. Lincoln will have Trenton Bauman taking the draw with Dahlberg and Carlson on his wing, and Broadfoot and Grossroad up top. Carlson will jump it, so Bauman will be forced to leave the circle. Carlson replaces him. Puck is moved up to Grossroad. He'll move it over to his D partner Broadfoot. Broadfoot elects just to throw it low. Easily picked up by Dahlberg. Dahlberg goes in front, off a couple skates, and in! Trenton Bauman able to find the loose puck and give the Stars a 1-0 lead with 4:25 left in the first period. Thrown in front, I believe hit off Barr's skate. Couldn't stop themselves from sliding to the weak side. And Trenton Bauman pokes it home. Trenton Bauman will be your goal scorer, and I wouldn't be surprised if they give both Dahlberg and Carlson an assist on that. Meanwhile, faceoff is won by Mason City. Assist just given to Carlson there as the Stars battle for it in their own zone. Carlson now takes it, looks for Bauman in the center. He finds him. Bauman decides to go wide. Cade Carlson driving to the net. Bauman tries to throw it into the center, intercepted by the Mohawks, and they have a 3-on-2 rush coming the other way. Mason City gets that stick down by Henry Lancaster. Good gap there to negate any rush and shot opportunity. 5-on-5 hockey continues with Mason City throwing that in the front, in the middle of the ice. Bauman sends that into the corner. Him and his teammate Taylor Dahlberg fight for it on the wall. Bauman sends it wide for Mohat. He'll step up into the play, crossing the red line. He's got Lancaster with him. Both defense have activated. Mohat now timed down in the corner. Decides to float one with his backhand. That's sent up to Paul. Paul down to Brown. Now Paul will step down as Mohat retakes his place. Miller now crunched behind the boards. Peary picks that up on his backhand, sends it up to Brown. Brown looking over his options, gets a shot on net. And though the layers, Barr still comes up with the glove save. Eric Alexander will elect to leave his forwards out there as Mason City chips us out of the zone, and icing signaled for and called off. And now called for. The linesman Boston pointing at the scoreboard. Looking at the scoreboard, Boston thought the Mason City was still on the penalty kill because of the time there, not taken off by the score operator. So icing now called. Peary to take the draw with Miller and Brown on his wing. Grossroad and Broadfoot up at the blue line. Mason City arguing that the faceoff should be at center ice because they disagreed on the call. Boston explaining that he called that off because of the penalty kill. So faceoff will be in the offensive zone of the Junior Stars. Play will continue with just under 3 minutes left in this first period. Peary tries to win it towards the wall, unsuccessful. Mason City will take it back. Possible a 2-on-2 ensuing. They'll decide just to dump it in on Travis. Travis will glove that down and take the face-off towards his blocker side. Peary line still out there with Grossroad and Broadfoot on defense. Peary's not able to win the face-off, but puck works out to Bauman. Regrouped by Mason City. Mason City has a mini 3-on-2. They'll go for a shot. And swallowed with no rebound by Travis, making the save at the top of his crease. Lincoln goes for a full line change. Ben Insko would take the draw with Riker Noden and Ethan Nickel at his wing. Mohat and Lancaster back there on defense. And position, he's going to try and win this one forward. Does so successfully, but goes right to the defense, dribbling puck and swallowed by Travis. Faceoff will come to the same side, the blocker side of Travis. Insko lining up for the draw once again. Tries to win this one to the wall. Not able to do so, gets tied up instead. Puck swallows to the wall. Jumped on by Ethan Nickel, not able to get it out of the zone. Thomas Medlin, roll line up, shot. Matthew Travis able to seal the ice and send that one to the wall. Puck is still in the corner, battled for by Henry Lancaster. Now Ben Insko. Henry Lancaster is going to end up with the puck. He'll start skating towards center, might try to gain the red and dump it. Indeed he does. That puck is angled off the stick of Jacob Barr and into netting, so we will have a offensive zone face-off to the blocker side of Barr. Just over 2 minutes left to play in this period. Insko going to try to win this one back to Lancaster. Puck jumps and is not able to do so. Noden, however, picks it up and battles for it in the corner. Insko goes, picks the puck up behind the net, looks for options, tries to throw it in front. That's sticked away. Ethan Nickel now has plenty of time in the corner. Looks for options, tries to go to the far side D. That's intercepted. Mason City now will go to the wide side. Cooper Mohat will take a hit as the puck moves below the goal line of Matthew Travis. Puck is moved up to the defenseman of Mason City. That shot gets through, sticked into the corner by Travis. Nickel can't corral the puck as Ben Insko picks it up. He'll go to the weak side. That's stepped up by the Mason City player and dumped in. Mason City will have to tag up as Mohat goes behind his own net looking for options. He'll try to go a stretch pass over to Insko. Not able to connect with Schwartman. Will pick it up. Tries to leave it for Insko. Insko skates by. Puck is stolen by Mason City as they'll go to the weak side. Chips past the red line, and Lincoln will do the same. Mohat now, as Mason City changes, looks for options. He'll go to the weak side, hits off Cash Swarman and on to Thomas Medlin. Chipped ahead by Mason City. Guy streaking towards the net and another high guy. Good job by Lancaster getting a stick. Schwartman now has a 2-on-2 with Sam Rose to his right. He'll go into the zone, chip it to Sam Rose, but instead goes to the corner. Rose now sends it around the net, giving chase to Schwartman. Lancaster elects to take this one back with his D partner, Grossroad. Isaac extended forward and called off by Boston off the glove of the Mason City player. Grossroad moves this up to King. King Sends this one straight up, no one there. Off the wall and sent to Gross Road. Gross Road tries the backhand to Paul, not able to get there. 3-on-2 incoming. Mason City drives wide, tries to go high with it. Couldn't get one on it. Stick tied up and a cover. And face-off incoming to the blocker side of Travis with 14 seconds left to go in this first period of play. Lincoln up 1-0. We've seen chances from both sides. Couple breakaway saves from Matthew Travis. Shots are currently 15-9 in favor of Mason City. In no period was Lincoln outshot yesterday. Pass comes into the center, picked off by Cooper Mohat. He's content with floating it out into middle with 5 seconds left to play. He will do so again. Cade Carlson brings it into the zone, so no offsides. And at the end of the first period, your Junior Stars lead the Mason City Mohawks 1-0. Shots in the first period are 15-9. Junior Stars capitalize on their only power play of the day, as Trenton Bauman was able to bury with an assist from Cade Carlson. We'll see you back here in the second period in about 20 minutes. And as we take the ice to get the second period started, Mason City is out shooting your junior stars 15-9. But however, on the scoreboard, thanks to Trenton Bauman with an assist from Cade Carlson on the power play, your junior stars lead the Mason City Mohawks with a score of 1-0. Junior stars hoping to continue and find success here again in the second period to increase their lead. Matthew Travis and Jacob Barr still in net for the two teams. Travis making a couple big saves on the breakaways and other opportunities from the slot that Mason City found. As the last few players come onto the ice, we look to get started. Third of our way through regulation. Junior stars will start with Cooper Mohat and Henry Lancaster on defense. Ben Insko, Ethan Nickel, and Riker Noden up front. Insko to take the face-off. Home to win this back to one of his defensemen, gain the red, and start to work below Mason City's goal line. Face-off is one back to Lincoln's Cooper Mohat. He'll go DDD to his partner Lancaster. Tries to go straight up to Riker Noden, but intercepted by Mason City. Lancaster will now work behind his own net as he wheels and goes off the boards and out. Not able to connect with anyone though, so it will go off the boards and icing will be called, and our first whistle will come 18 seconds into the second period to the blocker side of Travis. Insko remains the face-off man. Face-off is one back and down into the Lincoln zone. Fighting for it is Ben Insko with assist from Henry Lancaster. Lancaster continues the fight and chips it up to Insko. Fighting for it along the half wall and moves it up to Nickel. Nickel now has a 2-on-2 with Riker Noden to his far side. He cuts towards the middle. Call is good. Slips it down to Riker Noden. Tries to put it on the close side. Not able to go. Shot again by Ethan Nickel. Denied by Barr. Hitting off the ref and moved down below is Ethan Nickel. He tries to go off the mask of Barr into the front of the slot, and Barr got a piece of it. Nickel has it again, throws it in front, not able to connect with Insko. That goes into the corner. He'll fight for it along with Noden. Insko now has it. He'll move it low for Nickel. Nickel stops below the net, tries to throw it in front, and that is covered up by Barr. A couple of good saves early to start this period as Lincoln gets their first change of the game. Onto the ice comes Cash Schwartman, Sam Rose, Paul King, with Grossroad and Broadfoot defending the blue line. Rose will look to win this back. Does so. He goes D to D. Shot. It's deflected and goes wide. Barr not able to cover. No one there for Mason City, so ice signaled for and called for. Face-off will now come to the glove side of Barr. Rose has this one tied up in the feet and goes below the goal line. Paul King receives it cleanly. He'll look up, tries to throw it into the front. Barr seals the ice. Puck comes out now to Grossroad. He chips it down, keeps the puck in the zone and does so once more. Good stick lift by Paul King. Puck rolls into the corner. They'll throw it up to Schwartman. Schwartman not able to handle it clearly. So Mason City will go a 2-on-1 on rush back. Trevor Broadfoot going for the rush. He goes to the weak side. Good stick lift by Grossroad to negate the pass. Now Schwartman. He'll go behind the net looking for options. He'll hit the brakes and go weak side over to Gross Road. Gross Road now he's going to skate, look for the red line, get it. Tried to dump cross corner, didn't quite get there, so instead puts it on the half wall. Mason City will flip that puck out. Icing called off. Broadfoot will have plenty of time behind the net. He'll hit the brakes, rim it around for Gross Road. Gross Road picks it up on the half wall. Instead it's Paul. Now up ahead is Sam Rose. Sam Rose has White. He has Cash Swartman in the middle ice. He'll try to float it across. Picked up on the backhand. Cannot pull it to the forehand quick enough. Paul now circles into the middle. That's gloved and covered by Barr. Cash Swartman will land on top of him. Sam Rose able to get that puck into the middle of the ice for Swartman. Tried to pull it to the forehand and could not do so. Paul King then pulled it up and around the circle, shot and saved by Jacob Barr. Face off will come to his glove side after the cover. Now it's Bauman out there with Dahlberg and Carlson on his wings. Puck is sent up by Mason City. Carney now has it. He'll shoot wide side. Good pass there. They'll fight for it below the goal line. Carlson steps down to retrieve it, tries to put it up. Mason City's defenseman will send it low below the goal line once more. Mohawk will battle for it behind the net along with Dahlberg. That will squeak out. Dahlberg now gets it over to Carlson. Carlson's all alone. He's got Bauman streaking in late. Tries to cut towards the middle. Not successful. Dahlberg keeps it in the zone momentarily. Squirts out to neutral ice. Lancaster now steps up on the play. He'll send it 200. Stars tag up and are good to go. Carlson will be the first one there for the junior Stars. Not able to keep it in the zone as the Mohawks have a 3-on-2 rush coming. He'll go wide. Tries to pass it through the middle off the skate of Lancaster and goes deep. Lancaster will give chase. Now Bauman moves it up to the half wall for Carlson. Carlson will chip it in for Bauman and he'll take off. With speed, he'll go wide. Drop it off for Dahlberg. Dahlberg tries to give it back to Bauman, doesn't do so successfully. Now Carlson has it on the half wall, tries to go into the middle, passes it over to Lancaster who steps down. Puck flips into the far corner. Now it's Dahlberg. Moves it up for Carlson. Carlson tries to get a shot off the shin pads and another breakaway from Mason City. Mohat tries to get back, cut down the angle. Shot from the top of the circle and that goes wide and out of the zone. Mohat takes the tumbles behind the net of Matt. Peary now drives wide, has Sampson there. Goes for a pad pass, throws right in front and Leo Miller grabs it, cannot get it on net. Peary now up for Mohat. Mohat a shot going wide and gloved down by Barr. Good rush there for the junior Stars. Peary hit it off the toe bridge of the netminder Barr and popped right out into the middle. Sampson rose too far ahead of it, and Leo should have been a lefty there. Peary now to take the face off with Brown and Miller on his wing. Face-off stops at his feet. Mason City will take it out of the zone, getting chased down by Peary. They'll go cross crease, pulled around Donner. Now thrown out in front. Peary collects and throws into the corner. Now pops back onto the front in the feet of the Mason City defender, giving chases Miller. Mason City was content with putting that puck low. Rung around the boards by Clausen. Brown will throw a weak side for Miller. Peary goes off for a change. On comes Insko. Mason City now has it on their half wall. They'll take breaks and put it low. Have it at the corner. Giving chase to Clausen. Clausen will take that away and look over his options. He'll put it on the half wall for Brown. Now Insko giving chase. He's got Miller and Brown on his wing. Insko goes wide. Tries to slip past to Brown. Doesn't quite get there. Stick intercepted. Mason City will have an easy breakout. They'll gain the red looking over their options and dop in cross corner. Donner giving chase. First one. He'll move it up the wall. Mason City the player there, however. Now Nickel giving chase with assist from Clausen. Nickel has the puck. Will take breaks behind his net. Try to feed it through the middle. No one quite there, so icing will be signaled and called for. Early action on both sides of the ice. Near breakaway from Mason City, but good hustle from Cooper Mohat to negate it. Faceoff will come to the blocker side of Travis. Beninsko not able to win it. Puck squeaks out into the neutral zone, and Mason City will go off the glass and in to the zone. Stretch pass into the neutral zone. Insko has Nickel on his far side. Beninsko will go wide, try to pass into the center. A little bit behind Nickel, couldn't quite get there. Now 2-on-2, headed back for Mason City. Both defense looking on the puck carrier. Mason City will go wide, picked up by Mohat, doesn't see the guy behind him. Tries to go D-to-D, can't do so quick enough. He'll go straight up to Nickel. Icing signal for and called for. No touch there at the blue line. Stars lead 4-0 in shots this period. Take the lead in shots overall. Leading shots overall is Mason City, 15-13. Another face-off for Insko. Able to keep this one center. Not able to get it out of the zone is Nickel, though. Mohat steps up into the play, and he'll go for a skate. He's got Riker Noda with him. Possible 2-on-1. Tries to go. Goes for a shot. That's into skates. And at the top of his crease to make the save is Var. Lincoln will go for a change now, bringing out Grossman and Broadfoot on defense, as well as the Rose line. King and Schwartman on his wings. Sam Rose looking to win it back to Broadfoot. Not able to do so. Instead, it goes to the corner. Chipped up. Possible 2-on-1 incoming. Grossroad decides to take the pass. Puck coming down. Shot from for the dot, and a stick save from Matthew Travis. Puck comes to the half wall. King decides to skate it up. Tries to chip it off the wall. Intercepted by Mason City. No calling of offsides. Barr just gets a piece of that one as Sam Rose was able to slip past the defense. King now walking out of the corner, goes for a shot short side. That's blocked. Mason City's going to send this one down. Looking to be on net. Matthew Travis plays it. Sends it into the corner. Grossroad takes a hit. Sends it over to his D partner Broadfoot. Broadfoot tries to move it up for King. That has intercepted. Now back down to the half wall. Throws that on net. Off of Grossroad and into the stick of Cass Schwartman, who will go across the red. Tries to pull it across. That pass is intercepted and has to fight for it in the corner. Moves it up to King, looking for his options. Little time in the corner. Moves it down for Schwartman. Schwartman tries to center for Sam Rose, not able to get there. Grossroad can't hold the line, so he'll reset in the neutral. Wait for his players to get online before dumping it in. Barr decides to play it. D-to-D, Mason City goes. And Schwartman has the puck below the goal line. Skirts out a little bit and covered up by Barr. A little bit of pushing after the play. Carlson might have got a little too close there along with Schwartman. A little closer than the Mason City defenders would have liked. With that save by Travis, Mason City records their second shot of the period, and we are all tied at 17 on the shot count. Dahlberg, Bauman, and Carlson out there now. Donner and Clausen on defense. Clean period so far. Only one penalty in this game, none in this period. Faceoff is won over to Donner. He'll look over his options before sending a pass. That's blocked down by Bauman. Mason City gets it out of the zone, but quickly taken again by the Stars and sent in deep. Bauman on a heavy chase. Cade is there on the half wall. That is sent up the wall. Clausen decides to take this one back. Now is stepping. Able to get a piece of it before the puck squirts out to Donner. Donner will go weak side to Dahlberg. Dahlberg will hit a centering Bauman. Not able to get all of it, though, as Mason City heads back the other way. 1-on-5. Stick down by Bauman. Doesn't know where the puck is. Picked up by Evan Clausen. Clausen will hit the brakes and reassess. Now has a little bit more time. Goes weak side to Cade. Cade thought that puck was going to get tipped, so he backed off. That puck is now rimmed around by Mason City. Kept into the zone by a fresh player. And picked up again by Evan Clausen. Evan Clausen tries to go around. Hits the back side of the net. Almost bad for the Junior Stars there. Puck kept into the zone now. Walking into the slot. Goes to his backhand. Tries to elevate. And Matthew Travis will overlap and make the save. Scary play there. It looked like Mason City player wanted to go high there and didn't quite. Kind of fluffed on it, so Those are the scary, tough ones to make. Just over halfway through this second period and regulation. Peary out there to take the draw. Doesn't get it. Mason City will curl it to the middle. Might have gotten tipped halfway through. Sails high of the net, and Lancaster will elevate and move down into the zone. Peary will take his place on defense. Lancaster now has it in the corner. A little bit of time. We'll try throwing it into the middle. Peary takes on the defensive. Does bank off the boards. For sure did that intentionally. Wasn't trying to score or anything. Peary lining up for the face-off with Miller and Brown on his wings. Puck comes up to Lancaster. Lancaster goes for a shot. No screen there in front. Brown set out wide for the possible pass, and Miller got there a touch late. Peary was tied up. This time, puck went back cleanly to Lancaster. He'll turn around and shoot it on net. Tipped wide by Peary. Brown now has it over on the wall. Leo there for help. He'll drive into the center. Shot. That one's wide. Peary now giving chase. Stick gets lifted in 2-on-2. Headed the other way. Mohat has to hurry back. Goes. He'll curl up looking for his defenseman. He'll look for someone in the middle. Finds him. Lefty shot. That one's wide of the net. That one pops back out in front though. Matthew able to recover to his post quick enough. Back out to the defense. That one's tipped and loose and covered by Travis. Mohat making sure no one gets close to his goaltender. A little bit of chaos down there in the Lincoln zone. Boards are live today. Mason City retakes the lead in shots. We are now at 20-18. Both goaltenders keeping their team in it as Lincoln still leads 1-0. Insco now out there. He'll win it back for Broadfoot. Broadfoot will rim it around the boards for Riker. He gives a head check and realizes he can skate it. Oh, funny bounce. While giving the head check, Riker noted missed the puck. Mason City throws it on net, takes a funny bounce. Matthew at the top of his crease, though, able to smother. Just under 7 minutes left to play in this first period. Insco, Noden, as well as Nickel out there with Grossroad and Broadfoot. One cleanly by Mason City, shot on net. And tracking it in, it was Matthew Travis for another save. Insco looking to win this one back to Grossroad. Ties up in his feet. And thrown on net. Rebound put right into the middle of the ice. D2D Lincoln goes up to Noden now. Noden falls down to the ice, and another freeze by Travis. Little scary rebound coming right into the middle of the ice. Tough angle though. That shot comes from the middle of the ice. It's right into the corner. Just got to recover quick on those. Lincoln will switch up their forward group. Rose, Paul, and Schwartman. Puck one to the wall, and now to Grossroad. Grossroad will ring it around, looking for Paul. Mason City defender steps down, tries to keep the puck in the zone, and does. He'll send it back low for Broadfoot. Broadfoot will look over for his partner, Grossroad. Grossroad now has it. He'll go weak side for Rose, not able to connect there. Mason City will flip it off the glass and regroup into the Lincoln zone. Penalty called on Lincoln. Delayed call. Hooking will be called on Paul King. Not sure what his penalty count was Friday, but between yesterday and today, we're at 4 or 5. So with King getting the hooking call, Mason City will get their first power play of the day. 6:17 left in the second period. They are down 1. Lincoln will send out Peary and Miller, their top penalty killing unit. And so far they're successful as they send the puck 200 feet. Peary, the first one to be met by the puck, shoots it right at him. Took after his brother a little bit there. Mason City now working it out of their zone with a fourth of the penalty already expired. Mason City will do a drop pass back to their defenseman. Peary not able to get a full stick on it. Now it's Mohawk pressuring up to Mason City defense. They'll move it wide. Walks down, shot, and eaten up by Matthew Travis. 1:18 left in the power play. In replace of Miller and Peary, Lincoln will send out Insko and Riker Noden. Insko to take the draw, hoping to win this back to Mohat and send it out of the zone. Up to the Mason City defense, the puck goes. He'll walk towards the middle before sending it wide to his D partner. Gives it back up to the top of the key and over wide once again. He'll try to cross the center line. Pass cannot connect. Puck will now move low now. Time for Mason City. Puck will get moved up. Mason City looking to get a screen tip with a couple layers in front. Puck moves up, shot. Not able to get through. Tipped halfway through and sails high of the net. Mason City rekindles. Puck moves up and down low. Henry Lancaster down there with no pressure. He'll turn around the corner. Loses the puck though at the half wall. Shot in the middle. Puck goes wide. Mohat's able to send that one off the glass and put it all the way down to the Mason City zone. Mason City will have to go 200 feet. 30 seconds left in the penalty. Mason City will chip it off the wall. Try to cut into the middle. That shot's wide. Hits off the glass. Matthew Travis pokes it back. Mohat tried to poke it to himself. Not successful. Puck is loose there. Mohat shoots it off the back of Henry Lancaster's leg. Didn't like that one. 5 seconds left to go in the penalty as Mason City moves the puck from low to high. Able to keep the line. Lincoln is back 5-on-5. Paul King exits the box. Joins the defense. Mason City moves the puck low to high. Shot is blocked by Paul King. Mason City cannot keep the puck in the zone. They'll have to tag up as Henry Lancaster looks over his options. Lancaster starts to skate up, finally gets out of their zone, backhands it, looking for Riker Noden. Noden will tip it in. Insko now fighting for it in the corner. Riker Noden coming to help. Puck is sent down. Henry Lancaster looking over his options, has his defensive open. He'll decide to put it into the middle for Insko. Insko kicks it out wide for Noden. Noden hits off his skate, can't collect. Insko goes over there to help. He'll send it up to Grossroad. Grossroad moves it over to King. King has options. He'll move it up to Broadfoot. Broadfoot go for a slap shot. That's sticked away by a Mason City player. Insko. It's pinned along the boards. Carlson will go to chase. Stick handle past Paul King as they will bring it up the boards. Insko now going for a change. Keeps it in the boards as Mason City goes wide. 1-on-3 for Mason City. Broadfoot will step up and move it over to his D partner, Grossroad. Grossroad goes over for Carlson. Carlson bumps it over to Bauman. Bauman was looking for a possible Dahlberg there, but instead just flicks it on net. Dahlberg now working from below the goal line. He'll take breaks. Pass it up to Carlson. Carlson loses the puck. Mason City will work it wide. 2-on-2 incoming for Mason City. He'll take a shot from the top of the circles and easily seen by the netminder Travis. .26-19 are your shots. Bauman out there to take the draw now. Gets tied up in the middle. Puck is still there. Now finally gets loose and handled by Evan Clausen. They'll go off the wall to Dahlberg. Dahlberg will leave it for Bauman. Bauman is streaking. Cade driving the net. Bauman tries to get to Dahlberg. That's sticked away. Cade now with time in the corner. We'll move it up to Clausen. Clausen looks over his options. We'll give it back to Cade. Cade now, time on the half wall. Tries to cut towards the middle. Not successful. Taylor looks over his options. Tries to drive in the middle. Goes for a shot. That's blocked early. Goes into the front shot, and that one's just wide. Sent down by Mason City for an icing. Dahlberg able to find the soft spot there, but couldn't find the 6x4 net. Good pass by Cade to give him a chance. With 1:51 left, Cooper Peary will take the draw with Brown and Miller on his wing. He will win it to the wall and get up to Lancaster. Lancaster will step down, not able to hold the line. 2-on-1 coming. Peary giving chase. Mohawk goes over for the pass. Pass comes into the middle. Peary is there to break it up. Pass comes up to the top of the slot. Stick lift by Brown. Lancaster now stepping up in the play, trying to get the puck out. Stick lifted by the Mason City player. Mohawk will flow that around, hoping Miller can get there. And Lancaster will try to send that pass over to Brown, not successful. Brown will give chase as Miller is there for the next pass. Chipped up the wall. Cooper will go weak side to Cooper. Cooper will dump it in, and they'll go for a chase. Stop behind the net for Barr. Barr will ring it to his forehand side, where Mason City is there. Not able to connect that pass in the middle, so Peary will give chase off the wall, and now successful this time. Possible 3-on-2 coming, now 3-on-1. Can't get the move around Mohat, so puck will go into the corner, recollected by Mason City. Mason City will go wide. Pass goes off the skates and shot in, sticked away by Travis. Now moved low, no one there for Mason City, so an easy collection from Lancaster. Lancaster goes to Miller. Miller tried to find Peary there. Peary goes for a change, on comes Insko. Now Mason City walks in, light shot on goal, and Travis will cover up so the rest of his forwards and D can go for a change. 32 seconds left in the second period. Stars still lead at 1-0. A lot of shots so far this period. Mason City leads 13-11 in this period alone. Riker Noden able to get a stick on that. Is chipping it past Ethan Nickel on the drive. Riker Noden trying to give chase. Gets caught up a little bit. Ethan Nickel tries to slide it over for Riker Noden. Not able to. Now 3-on-2 the other way for Mason City. They'll go wide and decide to ring it around the boards. Mason City's defenseman able to keep it in. Sends it down to the half wall and will skate it even lower. Giving chase is Trevor Broadfoot. Broadfoot now looks over his options. Might go for a skate. He'll send it wide to Noden. Noden will run out of time before anything can happen, and that will be the end of the second period. No goals in the second period, only shots. Your Junior Stars with 11 that period, and the Mohawks with 13, totaling a total of 28 for Mason City and just 20 for the Junior Stars. Trenton Bauman, the lone goal scorer so far on the power play in the first period. Lincoln looks to win the third period and complete the 4 out of 6 points on the weekend in the weekend sweep against the Mason City Mohawks. We'll be back at the start of the third period. As we retake the ice, Trenton Bauman is our lone goal scorer in this game as he poked one in on the power play with an assist from Cade Carlson. As we begin the second shot, stay on 28 for the Mason City Mohawks and 20 for your Lincoln Junior Stars varsity team. If the Junior Stars can pull off this win today, they will claim 4 out of the 6 possible points on this weekend, possibly pushing them into lone 6th place in the standings. If it is like last year, 10 teams will make the end of season tournament in Des Moines, Iowa at the Recplex. Jacob Barr stopping 19 of the 20 shots he has been tested. Matthew Travis handling all 28 for himself. The Junior Stars not famously a third period team. They will look to overturn that narrative here this morning. Did a good job finishing the game yesterday as it was tied 2-2 going into the third, and the Junior Stars finished with a 4-2 victory. Junior Stars have Ben Insko taking this opening faceoff with Riker Noden and Ethan Nickel at his wing. Broadfoot and Grossroad will hold the blue line to start. 17 minutes left in regulation to determine a winner. Noden will kick the puck into the Mason City defense. They'll do a stretch pass up off the feet of the player. High off the glass and thrown into center. The puck goes, picked up by Mason City. They'll enter the zone wide. 2 players coming in late. They'll have a shot from the top of the circle. That'll sail wide into the half wall. Mason City will bump that up to their defense wing. Quick shot. Travis didn't see that one. Puck comes out to Riker Noden. He'll move it to Ethan Nickel. Nickel now, just one guy to beat. He'll go from the top of the circle. Shot. That shot's high. Saved by Barr. Line kept by Jacob Broadfoot, but blocked down by the Mason City forward, who will take this puck now, move it wide, tries to get to the backhand. Good stick there, and eventually covered up by Matthew Travis. Tally another. Full line change for the Junior Stars. Sam Roseline now gets a chance. Consists of Sam Rose, Cash Schwartman, Paul King, with trusty Mohat and Lancaster out there on defense. Rose will lend that back for Lancaster. He'll go behind his net before ringing it around for Schwartman. Defensive pinch down. Sam Rose postures it up for Paul King. That goes off his skate into the Mason City defender. After going off the glass, Mason City will recollect before taken away by Paul King. Stepped up by Henry Lancaster. He'll try to make a move. Doesn't work. Now it's a 2-on-1 headed back. Mason City moves the puck out wide. Shot off the iron and over into the corner. Recollected by Mason City. Near lapse there for the Junior Stars. Got to pick this back up, or we will see a rehaps of Friday night. That shot's blocked. Now Cash Schwartman picks it up in the corner. He'll go behind the net. Tries to move it up to defense. Does not work. 3-on-3 coming back from Mason City. They'll just decide to dump it in. Lancaster. Puck takes a funny hop off the boards before Mason City puts that puck on net. That sails just wide. Puck is sent low by Mason City. They'll throw it out in front. Stretch save by Travis. Gets back to the post. Probably just got the blade of his skate on that one. Paul tries to clear. Not able to. Shot blocked by Paul. Now Mohat. Puck finally clears for the Junior Stars, and Sam Rose gives chase. Mason City will have to tag up. Lancaster looking at offense, trying to get to the red for the rest of the line to change. Carlson now out there while Mohat changes for Clausen. And Donner comes on for Lancaster. High off the glass. And attempt sent back in by Evan Clausen. Carlson now holding. 2-on-3 for Mason City. He'll go wide. Top of the circle, go for a slap shot. And into the logo of Matthew Travis. 2.5 minutes in, little scramble drill for the Junior Stars as they came out starting slow, hoping to pick it up from here. Travis having to stretch out to make a save. Just got a piece of it. Faceoff is won into the corner as they'll battle for it. Donner is the one with the puck. He'll try to go into the center, picked up by Dahlberg. Dahlberg tries to cut through the middle. Loose puck will find itself into the corner. Dahlberg tries to kick, doesn't get it. Instead, Mason City will rim it around the board. Donner tries to hold the line, is able to do so before walking down and getting his shot blocked. He'll try to bump it up for Bauman. Bauman just sends it back low for Dahlberg to go to work. That puck shoots up and is sent into our own zone by Evan Clausen. Donner will give chase. Donner will cut towards the strong side before getting stolen by Mason City. Tries to make a move, but Cade steals it instead. Cade now on with his line mates Dahlberg and Bauman. He'll try to chip it up, hits a Mason City player. Bauman picks it up, tries to put it on net, and that is sticked away. Puck is still hopping back there. Picked up by Mason City. They'll try to go for a far side pass. That's sticked down by Carlson and kept in by Clausen. Puck now is chipped up the wall, and a good stick there by Evan Clausen to negate the rush. Sticked up again as Bauman will curl, give it back to his defenseman Mohat, who will look, puts it up the wall. Bauman not ready for it. Dahlberg now going down the wall, backdoor opportunity, shot and into some shin pads. Line not be able to held. Now Mason City coming back the other way. 2v2 with speed, crosses the top of the circle, shot, and that's over the net. Mason City rekindles. Matthew Travis not able to hold that one in. Might have been off the blocker. Brown now tries to get it out of his own. Line is held by the Mason City defenseman. They'll send it back low with Mohat will retrieve behind the net. He'll decide to chip it forward from Miller. Miller not able to get it, so Brown will pick up. Peary on his weak side. Brown will cut towards the middle on his backhand. Mason City will poke that out of the zone. Mohat will chip it up for Brown. Brown will go weak side over to Miller. Miller decides just to throw it in on net. That's stick to the corner by Barr. Off the wall, and Mason City will break it out. Sends it wide. Not able to get past the stick of Ethan Nichols, so he will roll back and reassess before dumping the puck in, where Henry Lancaster will regroup behind Matthew Travis. Skater move to lose the defender, and Lancaster will stop behind the net and look over his options. Decides to go to his D partner Mohat. Mohat now will do the same. He'll do a skater move, going to his D partner. Lancaster looks forward, decides to go close side over to Brown. Brown not able to grab it. 3-on-2 for Lincoln now, and instead Peary dumps it in. Long shift, but still got to see a little effort on the 3-on-2. Puck gets thrown into the middle, and Insko, this is an open net. Puck got thrown into the middle, and Barr lost the puck. Insko didn't realize he had more time than he thought. Shot now from the point goes into the corner. Chipped out by Mason City, and they'll have a 2-on-2 back. Good back check by Riker Noden and Ethan Nickel. That shot is blocked by Broadfoot, where he'll pick up behind the net, hit the brakes, and over to Ethan Nickel on the half wall. Nickel will cut towards the middle, looking for options. Nearly loses the puck, but picked up by Broadfoot. Broadfoot will lower his shoulder, getting it out of the zone. Puck comes to a halt, where it's picked up by Mohat. Mohat tries to backhand it into the zone, only gets about 180 feet before Mason City sends it back down. No icing called. Broadfoot will look for options behind his net, go for a stretch pass for Insko. Insko will backhand it up to Riker. Riker lifts a stick, no icing called. Riker will chase behind the net while the Mason City defenseman moves it up. He crosses the red line and now into the Lincoln zone. He'll pull it to his backhand, try to throw it in front, not able to do so before continuing around the side of the board. Big hit on him is Cooper Grossroad before Noden reaches the red line and dumps and chases. Puck jumps over to the far side corner before Mason City defenseman goes for a skate. He'll cut towards the inside, losing Paul King as well as his stick. Good angling by Cash Shortman before they go wide and dump it into the far corner. Mason City will be the first one on the puck. They'll try to dump it deep. Evan Clausen there. He'll go off the wall to Cash Shortman. Shortman will try to go to the middle. That's sticked away. Bad gap. Shot on net. That's blocked. 2-on-2 now for Lincoln. Cass Shortman to go wide with Sam Rose gliding in. That's broken up and into the net. Thrown into the front. No one there. Henry Lancaster will now go for a shot. That's patted away. Jumping puck cannot be handled by Paul King. And thrown into the middle. And a 1-on-4. Good stick there by Mohat and Gap. Paul King now will get the red and dump in. He'll go for a change and replace is Cade Carlson. Mason City now with plenty of time. Just crossing the 9-minute mark in the third period. Mason City will go for a stretch pass. Good edge work there. Before the stretch pass up to Carlson. Carlson just gets it out of the zone. Before offsides. I didn't think it hit anyone, but 8:43 left in the third period. Junior Stars lead the Mohawks 1-0. Bauman, Dahlberg, and Carlson are out there with Broadfoot and Grossroad on defense. Puck gets tied up in the middle before Dahlberg pushes it back to his defense. Grossroad will go off the board over to Carlson. Carlson will try to push it forward, not able to. Puck comes back to Grossroad. He'll push it up to Carlson now. Bauman coming with speed. Carlson with a little bit of room tries to slide it back to Dahlberg, not able to do so. Dahlberg now with the puck though, goes over to Carlson. That is sticked away and up to the Lincoln defense. They're able to come back though. Good gap there by Trevor Broadfoot. Negate the rush. And a good slide to get it out of the zone. That puck is flipped out and we will have a face-off at center ice. Good gap there by Trevor Broadfoot to negate the rush and a good second effort to get that puck out of the zone. So with 8:10 left in the third period, we'll have a face-off at center ice. Lincoln not able to win this one. Mason City will go D-to-D before gaining the red line and dumping this in. Trevor Broadfoot first one there, plenty of time. He'll go D-to-D to his partner Grossroad, who will chip it up and get intercepted by Mason City. They'll come back. Offsides will be called by linesman Blake Glazer. Lincoln will go for a full change, bringing on Mohat and Lancaster on defense with the Peary line and his wingers Miller and Brown. Peary wins that puck back to Mohat. Plenty of time there. Peary will swing through the middle. Mohat stops and looks over his options. He'll try to go straight up over to Miller. Does so, but puck jumps. Mohat will flip into the center. Glove down by Brown. Brown now has an angle on the Mason City defenseman. Tries to go. Puck jumps. Down low. Swings the puck around. Peary first one there. He'll put it up to his defenseman Lancaster. Tipped by Miller and sent wide. Picked off by Cooper Peary. Cooper Peary on top. Tries to slide it over to Miller. Couldn't quite get there. Brown now down on the ground. Good seal by Barr to negate the goal on the wraparound. Miller down there battling with Peary. Peary pinned up against the boards. Now gets free and has the puck low. He'll go D-to-D over to Brown. Brown trying to find Miller in the soft spot. Instead finds Lancaster. Lancaster will shoot. That hits a pair of shin pads. Now Brown moves up to Mohat. Mohat walks down the ice. Shot. That hits a Mason City defenseman halfway through. Able to keep it in the zone, and now Cooper Peary will have it at the top. Loses it. And stolen away by Peary and thrown in the zone. He will go off for a change and replaces Ben Insko. His line mates Brown is still working down there with Miller in front. Brown will pivot, looking for options, and now picked up by Miller. Miller will shoot, hits the chest of Barr, and now squirts to the far side. Puck will come back up to the top. Mohat's content with putting that down low. Mason City will reverse up with a good pass to Insko. Insko goes to the far side. Lancaster just able to keep it in the zone. Now it's Nickel who has the puck. And that is taken away by Mason City. Mason City will gain into the Lincoln zone before sending it into the corner. Mason City, first one on the puck. Will battle there with Mohat. Insko coming in to help. Shot. Pad saved by Travis. Lancaster will curl behind his own net and now stop and look over his options. Tries to find Insko in the middle of the ice. Can't quite get there. Mason City player on his backhand has to recoil before sending it into the corner and back up to their defense. Mason City now. Good blocker save by Travis. That pops into the middle. Tipped there by Mohat and recovered. Good play there to flip that out in the neutral zone. Mason City, though, has a 2-on-3 back. They'll try to go wide. Getting a shot. Good steal, though, by Travis. Puck is loose in the middle, and Riker now has Ethan Nickel on the wide side. Can't get full power on that. Mason City will get the turnover. Just over 5 minutes to play here in the third period. Mason City starting to show a little pressure. Turnover by the Junior Stars as Mason City goes D-to-D looking for a stretch pass. They'll try one on the short side, no one there, and an icing called. So with 4:55 left to go in the third period, your Junior Stars will look to keep their 1-0 lead. Both teams recording 7 shots in this third period. Mason City leading in the shot department 35-27. Matthew Travis stopping all 35 while Jacob Barr has saved 26 of 27. Meanwhile, that is covered up by Jacob Barr. Sam Rose had it in the corner and just threw it out in front. Paul King not able to get full wood on it, and an easy save from Barr. Mohat and Lancaster are sent back out there. Puck tied up by Paul King. Sam Rose comes in to help. Puck squirts loose to the Mason City defender. He'll go below the net and avoid a hit from Sam Rose before rekindling the puck and sending it wide. Puck takes a funny hop off the boards, thrown in to Travis, and he will cover up for a face-off. Both teams still with their timeout. We might see Mason City call theirs in a minute or two to talk about their 6-on-5 action. Schwartman wins this and moves it over to King. King does a little chip, tries to find Schwartman, 2-on-1, mini breakaway, tries to pull it, big pad save by Barr, keeping this game at 1. Now Mason City coming back, they have a 2-on-2, call it a 3-on-3. Mason City got a little jumpy, they had to rekindle to avoid the offsides. Mason City looking for options, finds the middle of the ice as one. They'll push it wide now before dumping it into the zone, where Henry Lancaster will give chase. One defender there to meet him. Puck squirts loose, and Sam Rose will push it over for King. King now brings it back into his own zone looking for options. Can't decide between Lancaster and Mohat and puts the pass in between them. Schwartman there to pick it up. Pass thrown into the skates of Sam Rose, and Mason City will take back over. Pass into the middle ice, they'll go wide. Tries to drop the shuttle and drive the net, but puck ends up below the goal line. Thrown out in front, not there. Slap shot, that shot goes high. And is sent back low by Mason City. Henry Lancaster taking on 2 Mason City players before the puck squirts out to Mohat. Now up to Schwartman, he'll look to gain the red, not able to. Turnover and stick loss. Mohat now will gain the red, move it back up and dump into the zone while Barr will hold on. Just crossed over the 3-minute mark left in the third period. Just 1 penalty in this game so far, I believe. One penalty for each team with 2:58 left. Mason City might look to pull their goalie in the next minute and even use their timeout to talk about it. Cooper Grossar decides to take this rush back and set a step. Mason City will pass it into the slot, intercepted by Taylor Dahlberg. He'll kick it out right to Carlson. Carlson now has a little bit of room. He'll get the puck, drop it off to Dahlberg. Dahlberg shot, fumbling puck. Hits high off the chest of Barr, and he'll cover. .236 left here in the third period. Junior Stars have Trenton Bauman taking the draw with Carlson and Dahlberg on his wing. Wins the draw over to Carlson. Grossrow not able to fully connect, so he'll go for a chase. Mason City has players streaking down to the middle, not able to fully corral it below the goal line. They'll move it up. Dahlberg there. He'll give a little pass over to Bauman. Bauman and Cade. Carlson now have a little bit of room. He'll go for a cross corner. Slap shot by Cade. That's well missed. Taylor now taking down. Puck underneath him. Bauman, smart play, moves the puck back, has him recess, gains the red, and dumps the puck in once more. 2 minutes left here in the third period. Stars up by 1. Puck is moved down, intercepted by Cade. Tries to find Taylor in the middle of the slot and just misses the net. That puck is now below the goal line. Mason City will chip it over. Finds the feet of the Mason City player before kicking out wide. And you got to think Barr is headed to the bench. He's headed up by the hash marks as Mason City moves this puck wide. Barr still up by the hash marks of his own net, not being pulled yet. Mason City will curl around the circle dot and into the logo of Matthew Travis. Barr now goes onto the bench for the 6-on-5, and no timeout being signaled from the Mason City bench so far. And now we get one called. By Mason City, correct. So 1 minute timeout. Shots in the third period are as follows. Your Lincoln Junior Stars have 13, while the Mohawks have just 9. Mason City leads in the shot category. They have 37, with Matthew Travis stopping all, while the Junior Stars have 33. Jacob Barr turning aside 32 of them. Lincoln 100% on the power play. Trenton Bauman with an assist from Cade Carlson. Mason City not able to connect on Paul King's hooking. Now Cole Brown in to take the draw. He'll win it into the corner. Mohat will have the puck moved low. 6-on-5 for the Mason City Mohawks. They'll have the puck set out wide. Puck is lost. Leo Miller will now pick it up. He'll move it into the center between the legs of Cole Brown. He'll still give chase off the glass. Cooper Peary will now put that puck deep and just misses the net. Peary will give chase. Mason City moving the puck wide. That shot goes in the middle. Stick down by Peary, who will go off the boards and deep once more. Just under a minute left to play. Peary will give chase to this one as Mason City enters the Lincoln zone. Good stick there by Mohat to negate any opportunity. Moved up to the blue line. Shot. That's blocked halfway through by Mohat. Another one again. Moves back door. No one there. Peary now tries to get it out. Not able to. So tries to push it low. Instead rekindled by Mason City. They'll try to move it up to their D. They're able to hold the line. Pass it down. Mohat's there. Able to clear the zone. Icing signaled for. And icing signaled for and called. Head official said it's off their player, so face-off will come from center ice. Just 21 seconds left in this game. A win for Lincoln could put them up into 5th place in the varsity standings. Cooper Mohat will shoot that down the ice. That's gloved down by the Mason City player. They'll have to turn. 10 seconds left in the game as they'll go D to D. Holding behind their net. They need to start going. 5 seconds left in the game. just crosses over half ice. Bad gap. Puck gets loose. Now goes below the goal line. And for the first time this season, Matthew Travis will record his first shutout. Lincoln will get 4 out of 6 points on the weekend and score all 4 against the Mason City Mohawks. Final shots for the game were 37-33 in favor of the Mason City Mohawks. Matthew Travis turning away all 37. Couple big breakaway saves as long as A-plus opportunities from the slot. Trenton Bauman will get the game-winning goal as your Junior Stars get 2 points in this one. Junior Stars are off next week for Christmas. But January 2nd and 3rd, they'll play the Rough Riders on Friday and then the Dubuque Saints Saturday and Sunday. Merry Christmas and happy holidays.